This is video 2, Getting Started, where we download the software, install it, and get to the point where you've downloaded your first tracks from the GPS loggers. First thing you need to do is download the software from the OneDrive using the link below. Links also in the video description for easy cutting and pasting. By the time you get to look at this, you will see 3 versions: Windows, Linux and Mac OS. Today we're going to download and demonstrate the Windows version. Download the zip file. Open the downloaded directory. Click on the zip file. Here we see the files in the zip file, and we can extract all. In this case, I'm going to download the files to a directory called Logger and Documents. Once extracted, you should see these files. There are a number of documentation files, executable, and this championship file. This contains the information, the rounds of your championship. It's just a text file. You can add additional rounds if you wish. These are only used to create the directory where the IGC files will be stored, so you can reuse them if you need to. You can start the app by double-clicking on the RF downloader icon. You may be prompted by Windows like this. This is because this is an unofficial app that we've written ourselves. In order to proceed, hit More Information and click Run anyway. This should start the app. The app is of simple design, mimicking the behaviour of Friedel, but we have put all of the functionality on this single screen in the hope that it'll make it easy for people to learn. To get started, select the round from the championship that you want. You can see this is the list that we saw in the championship file earlier. I'll select Dammon's Hall for this test. A directory is created for Dammon's Hall and a template pilot file is created in this directory here. It wouldn't replace it if it already existed. Select the task you want to download for and the pilot number that you want to download the data for. The list of pilots is defined in the pilot.csv file, and you can update this if you need to, either beforehand or during the operation. This is the list here. Right, let's select the pilot number. I'll select Andy Fell for this download. We now need to set the date, which defaults to today, and the task window, similar to you would do in Friedel. It's all in UTC time. At this point we're ready to plug the GPS in, although the software can't see the GPS at the moment. So plug it in and then we'll hit get port, and then that should find the GPS, which is found on COM24. We're now ready to download the data. So hit the download button. Connects to the GPS and downloads the data. It downloads all the data from the GPS each time and creates a backup file, and then it goes on to select the data that we want for this particular task window. You see the backups created there. The output IGC file is put in the Dammon's Hall directory using the international standard naming convention for IGC files. And if you look over to the right here, you can see that's the directory where the backup is, and this IGC file directory is where all the IGC files will be downloaded. It's that directory that you should point your competition software at. Okay, so you've successfully downloaded your first IGC file. Now we're going to go and try and download another one. So we'll plug the second GPS in. I'm actually using the same one again, so it'll come up on the same port for the demonstration. Hit the get port button, there we go, port 24. Change the pilot number, this time we'll use Tim, and I'm going to select create plot this time just to show you another piece of functionality. Hit download, and we'll go through the same process again now. The IGC file for Tim has been downloaded, and here we've got this extra pop-up window which gives us some more information. It's very similar to the sort of track line that you get with Friedel, but with a little bit more information. It gives you the start time and the distance that the track is flown. These two bits of information together should give the comp director a pretty good idea that this is a nice solid track. Right, back to the IGC file directory, and you can see we have two IGC files ready for onward processing. One last thing to show you, there's an erase button here which can be used to delete the data from the GPS. Ideally you would do this before you start your championship. I hope this video has been helpful. The next video will look closer at the GPS loggers themselves and the mechanics of how the software works and debugging. But for now that's just done, and I'm now going to head off into the sunset.